Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining our bomb management webinar today. I'm Supriya Deshpande. I'll be hosting this webinar. And Mr. Rasesh Pallar, our presenter, he is Senior Technical Consultant at SteakCraft, and he will be presenting webcast this afternoon. Here is quick agenda of webcast. We'll begin with brief introduction of SteakCraft, who we are and how we help customers with solutions across the product lifecycle. Then we will go into presentation round of bomb management, along with the live demo, and wrap up with Q&A at the end. SteakCraft has a rich manufacturing legacy tracing back to 12 years of serving all sizes of business ranging from small, mid-sized manufacturers. We provide solutions to all group of customers across the globe. We do provide expert consulting in PLM, help customers to achieve their business goals within time and budget. We are a PTC partner for CAD, PLM, augmented reality, and IoT. We do have highly experienced and certified resources on PLM projects. Here are a few names of our customers like Strata, Emerson, Ericsson, Fossil, and many more. We'll have a quick poll question. We'll ask few poll questions to you and we'll hand over to Rasesh.
Request everyone to submit responses. This will help us to set the context of the presentation. So almost 50% have voted. So we'll just wait for the polls to finish. It will take hardly 20 to 25 seconds more. %75%. So request everyone to finish the poll. Last 5 seconds. All right, so I'll end the poll now. So pretty interesting results. So here I share the results. So we see that majorly all the participants are using some sort of a PLM solution. So that's good from making sure that the content is well understood and well interpreted by our audience. From the bill of material perspective, there is a good mix of engineering, manufacturing, and service bombs. So this presentation is going to focus primarily on E-bomb as part of transforming your E-bomb to a manufacturing or service bomb that can be handled in a separate webinar. And almost 90% people are using some sort of a PDM PLM system. So that is good news. And hopefully you shall be able to get more out of today's session.
So thank you everyone for taking the polls. Now I turn over to Rasesh and let him begin with his presentation of PTC Windchill BOM management.
Right. Thanks a lot, Supriya. Thank you everyone for your time in attending this brief session on managing bill of materials with Windchill. Right. So let me set the agenda for the technical demonstration and go through the objectives of today's session. So primarily, our presentation will focus on EBOM, okay? Because EBOM is the heart of your digital creation and the very process of creating a digital thread that PLM solutions like Windchill intend to view throughout your product development process starts with engineering bill of material. So we shall see the significance of EBOM, okay, and how the product structures are created and how it relates to your entire product definition process. We'll also be able to evaluate product information through product structures, okay, and the main crux of the live demonstration will be the product structure browser, which is nothing but a tool available within Windchill used to work with creation, editing, and manipulation of engineering bill of materials or the product structures. So at the end of today's session, from the objectives perspective, you should be able to describe the overall EBOM creation process. You should also be able to describe how end item parts and WT parts, which are nothing but Windchill technology parts, make up the product structure. And you should also be able to understand how to use the product structure browser. Right? So the significance of BOM is from perspective of configuration management. So Windchill as a PLM solution has got many capabilities, right? So it has got core PDM capabilities. As part of those core PDM capabilities, there are various sub capabilities like BOM management, change management, configuration management, okay, visualization, workflows, and so on and so forth, right? So BOM is seen as the first step in configuration management, which is nothing but it refers to the collective activities associated with determining and documenting the content of manufactured products as they are developed, produced, sold, modified, and retired from service. So primarily, configuration management is comprised of two components as shown here. So the first component on the input side is nothing but a product definition management, also referred to as product structure management, and is nothing but the modeling of product structures or EBOMs and associated information that describe the product. The second component is the management of changes to the structure and information that invariably occur over time. So both the elements of configuration management, the product structure definition, as well as the change management are supported in Windchill. However, change management is a topic which is not the focus of today's presentation. It will be the product structure definition and creation that will be the focus of today's presentation. Right. So this slide explains the overall EBOM creation process overview. So at a high level, there are 5 steps used to define your product structures. It includes creation of EBOM, editing of the engineering bill of material, managing the EBOM. Then it also includes generation and comparison using EBOM reports. And it also supports sharing and export of EBOM to downstream users. Okay, so on the creation part, there are various options in Windchill, you can go for auto associate method. So auto associate method is the method which is used for converting your CAD driven designs to Windchill technology parts that make up the product structure, right? So that is one method. You can easily convert your CAD documents to WT parts that comprise the bill of material. Second is the product structure browser. So that is basically a part driven approach. So you have defined your product structure in advance before any CAD geometry. So this method supports the top down design modeling, or the top down design methodology of product definition. So you know your product structure well in advance before any sort of geometry is created, and then you can link those WT parts or the product structures with respective CAD models, enabling dissemination of information to respective teams via collaborative engineering efforts. The third option is you can go for import from spreadsheet-based applications. Spreadsheets are the most commonly used tools of documenting your product structure in a non-PLM or a PDM environment. So you should be able to, any PLM application should be able to import those definitions from applications like Excel or Google Docs or something like that. And also you should be able to save as a product structure from any other legacy system like a PDM, right? When it comes to editing the EBOM, there are again various options. So you can utilize the CAD tool itself to edit the EBOM. So on the CAD integration part with Windchill, it has a natural integration with Creo as a CAD tool, but through technology known as Workgroup Manager, Windchill can be integrated with other MCAD applications like CATIA, SolidWorks, Siemens NX, and even Autodesk Inventor, right? So you can utilize any XCAD tool for editing of the EBOM. Plus, you are able to utilize the product structure browser as well for editing your engineering bill of materials, as well as you should be able to utilize your legacy applications like spreadsheets. When it comes to managing EBOM, that goes more into the change management aspect of things, but there are various terms and technologies and capabilities available with managing EBOM via creation of baselines, okay, managing life cycles, editing attributes, okay, managing different object associations. So typically this will be in the domain of your change administration or your Windchill administrator rather than your engineering department, right? Then you should be able to also generate and compare EBOM reports as well as share and export engineering bill of materials for downstream usage. Right. So when we say product structures and BOMs, the core component of the product structure definition in a Windchill system is the WT part, right? So it is nothing but the Windchill technology part. It has a special indicator in the Windchill interface that is through the gear icon that you see here. So if you visualize the product structure here, drill is the actual end item or the saleable product that is going to be shipped to the end user. Okay, and it is an end item, so it is differentiated via a special symbol, and the components of that end item are the respective WT parts. So this can be a particular individual part, or it can be an assembly as well. So it can be a part, it can be a component, it can be a module, it can be various things. Okay, but this is like a master level container of the product information, right? So WT part is nothing but a repository through which all the product definition information is accessed in the Windchill system. It offers a one-stop shop, or it offers the information superhighway from engineering perspective in the PLM domain, right? So typically the top node of the product structure is represented by an end item, as you see here. And there are various other options or content can be determined through application of a configuration specification and or filtering criteria to the product structure, right? So WT part on its own does not have any content. Okay, it has all the information or the metadata associated with it for visualizing your product information, but it can be enhanced or it can be described via additional content driven information like CAD documents or even normal documents. So converting CAD documents to WT parts, which ultimately form your bill of material, is one of the easiest ways of creating product structure inside Windchill. Okay, then also besides CAD documents, invariably your product is defined by other document types, right? So you have information like repair, service, overall, maintenance, costing. So those documents, those Word documents, those Excel sheets, those are also an important part of your product definition, right? So even these documents can be linked with your WT parts. So as I said, there is a CAD-centric approach. So Windchill can automatically build product structures based upon a CAD model structure. Owner link is automatically established once you link a CAD document and its respective part. So the option to do this is the auto associate option, which is available within the interface. And Windchill, as I said earlier, supports many different CAD platforms. So it has got a natural integration with Creo Parametric, but CATIA, SolidWorks, Autodesk Inventor, NX are also supported for integration with Windchill. So Windchill supports MCAD data management, which is a must-have capability for an enterprise PLM offering. So this is the part-centric approach. So first you model the parts. So product structure browser is typically used to model these parts and to manipulate existing product structures. So we are going to see in the live demo an example of how a product structure is modified and it is visualized in the system. So the product structure is created independently from the CAD design. So you model the parts first, WT parts first, and then you are able to link that with the respective CAD geometry. Okay, so the WT part structures can be created and managed using various Windchill tools, and product structure browser is one of them, but you can also import from a spreadsheet, as I told earlier. Right, so this is the tool that we are going to see primarily in the live demo. So this is known as a product structure browser. So as you see in the image, it offers a one-stop shop for creating, browsing, and editing your bill of materials through a simple context-based product structure page. It is easily accessible by navigating to a WT part information, and you can navigate through the product hierarchy. You can view the WT part structure on one side. You can view related attributes. You can view reference documentation, and also there is a graphical view that is available in the form of visualization subtab, right? So with that, let me switch to the application. Let me show you a quick demo of Windchill. Is everyone able to see the Windchill interface?
Yes, Rashesh.
Yes. Okay. So Windchill as an application is nothing but a browser. So for somebody who is new to Windchill, the term PLM and its use may sound intimidating or daunting, but really it is nothing but a browser. So the system is intuitive enough, and it is as easy as using any web-based application, right? So Windchill offers information at your fingertips according to your role and your access that you have been given to within your product development process. Okay, so here I am logged into the system as an administrator, but typically engineering will be logging in with roles like designer and so on. So from administration point of view, it is very easy to create participants in the system. So there is something called as a site utility here. So if you go to the site utility and go to the utilities, then you have access to all the administrative tools that you see here. So these tools are classified under various categories. There are, certain things under system administration. There are certain things under business administration. There are certain things under auditing administration, and there is a certain thing called as cloud configuration as well. Okay, so if you want to create participants, or if you want to create users and groups from admin perspective, then you have to go to the participant administration and you have to create the respective user and group within your particular organization and so on. Okay, so for the simplicity of this demonstration, I am logged in as a super user or as an admin who is having master privileges to manipulate anything and everything in the system. So this is a role which is available in the system by default. Okay, so I'll quickly go back to the browse, and I want to see all the products which I have access to. So I'll go for the recent product listing here. And currently it shows a list of recent products, but if I want to see all the products here, I'll go for view all option here. Right, so currently you are seeing that this is the products that I have access to. Okay, so if I want to visualize the information of this golf cart product, I will simply click on this view information button. So I want to visualize the product structure of this golf cart. That is what I want to do. So I'll click on this view information button. So it pops up a page which gives you access to two folders, design and manufacturing. So currently I am in the design view, and these are all the WT parts, okay, that are available in the system and that are associated with this golf cart product. So ultimately, these WT parts are the individual components of your product structure, right? And you see that there is an end item here. So you are able to see that the system gives you that indication, and there is also a visual indication as you saw in the PPT. So this is the end item. So this is the master assembly or the saleable product that we want to visualize the product structure for and ultimately manipulate it. So again, I will go for the view information tab here. So now you are in the view information tab of that specific end item. And suppose you want to now manipulate its product structure or the EBOM, I will go to the structure tab. Right, so this is the product structure browser. Okay, so again, this is a tool for not only creation but also editing of your EBOM. Right, so this view is classified into two panes by default. Okay, so on the left pane it shows the hierarchy of your product, right? And so it shows the entire structure of your product, right? And then on the right side it shows various contextual information. So suppose again, if you want to go for visualization, you will be able to visualize how your product is, right? So this is nothing but a lightweight representation of your design inside the system. So you will be able to manipulate this. Okay, so this application is nothing but Creo View, which is available by default as the visualization platform within the system. Okay, so this view in the left is related with the visualization view to the right through certain settings. So suppose if I go for, currently the setting is automatically select from visualization to structure. So basically, if I highlight this particular component here, you can see in the left hand side, it automatically drills down to that relevant level within the product structure, right? If I go to this particular component, again, it goes to that. So in context of the selection that you do in the visualization, you will be automatically drilled to the respective level within the product structure, right? You can change this setting. So suppose if I go for unchecking this one, and if I go for automatically select from structure to visualization, okay, and if I go for this one, or say wheel, so you can see that it is corresponding to the visualization view. So it offers you, easy way to locate and visualize your product structure, in a very intuitive manner, right? So now what I want to do is I want to manipulate this product by inserting a new part. Okay. So ultimately what I want to show is how easy it is to modify your product structures and track the change made. So any advantage of a PLM system is that you should be able to have an audit trail of your designs, so that there is no uncertainty within the team as to when the modifications were done and who did it. Okay, so let me do that. So I will again collapse the product. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll go for insert new option here. So as soon as I go for insert new part here, you see that the system automatically checks out the model or the product, which indicates that you wanted to modify the design, and therefore it has automatically checked out. You don't need to explicitly define that I need to check out this item. Okay, so that's quite a cool thing inside PLM, Windchill PLM. So I can specify what kind of part I want to create or add to this existing product structure. Okay, so I'll go for select a type here. So out of the box, there are two options here in my installation. It's a very basic installation, non-customized out of the box. So out of the box, it offers two options here, electrical part and part, right? So I'll select the part option here. Okay, and further, I have the option whether this part will be a separate sellable item. So if it's a separate sellable item that is going to be shipped to the customer, then I can create it as an end item, or I can maintain it as a normal component. Okay, so I'm happy with the no option as of now. I can give it a certain name. Right, it can be given certain attributes, okay, which makes sense from engineering perspective. So suppose whether it is going to be made in-house or whether it is going to be procured and so on. So suppose I have it as made in-house, then there are certain views also associated. So by default there is design and manufacturing, so I will stick to the design view. We can give it a specific unit, we can give it a life cycle template. So all these kind of rules are built in default by the administrator through object initialization rules. So that is another topic for discussion. And also you can see that parallelly, while creating this WT part, we have the option of creating the CAD document as well. Okay, so suppose I go for creating this CAD document option. So you now have to set the attributes of this CAD document in terms of what is going to be the authoring application of this CAD. Okay, what is its number, what is its name, and so on. Okay, so we can go for next. Okay, so again it sets the context. So we are adding this new part in the golf cart product, right? So here we can choose the authoring application at our disposal. So as I said, Windchill has got natural integration with Creo, but it also supports other CAD applications like so. So ArborText IsoDraw is an application for technical publications from PTC. Everyone knows AutoCAD. CATIA V5 from Dassault Systems is also offered as an integration for CAD. Creo, there is a natural integration. Creo Illustrate is again a lightweight technical documentation, technical authoring application. And I believe everyone is aware of Inventor, NX, and SolidWorks. So I will choose Creo at my end. And once I choose Creo, I can also able to select a template. Okay, so out of the box, Creo comes with lots of templates. I can select this Newton second part solid template. Once you select a template, there are some additional attributes that you can select. So I can go for number. I can select same as the part number option, right? And I can also have file number as same as the number option. And I can also give a revision to this. Okay, I can give certain description. So something like that. Okay, so I'll go for finish. So once the part is added, okay, in the system, you can see that it has been added in the product structure browser. And now once you have finished with the modification, you have to do the check-in of the product inside the system. So I'll go for check-in and I can say add. Right, so that's it. I'll hit OK. And now if you go to the history tab, okay, you are able to track what were the changes made from the last time. So I have done a lot of changes as part of this product structure. So you can have the audit trail of your design, right? So ultimately you have access to how your product has gone change within the products from perspective of product structure. So this is a crucial piece of what PLM can do. Okay, so this is just one way in which you are able to efficiently manage your EBOMs. Okay, so product structure browser is a really fantastic application available out of the box within Windchill for managing your EBOMs in a very efficient way, right? So this is what I wanted to show from the demo part. Okay, so let me hand it over to Supriya for a wrap up, and we are open to any Q&A at this point in time.
Thank you, Rashesh, for your informative session.
Do we have any questions?
Yeah, right now we'll have a look of questions. Kindly submit your questions, please.
I see one question here that how can we release the EBOM?
Yeah, so that is part of the change management. Okay, so that has to be done by the change administrator. So there are various roles available within Windchill. So change administration is one role that you can give to a participant from the engineering team. And then it is available via simple right click option in context of the product selection. So once you have that specific privilege given to by the change administrator, then using a simple right click option, you can take execute the change on that particular product, and it will go through its change workflow.
Thank you. One more question I can see here is that can we upload the EBOM from Excel file to the
Yes,
PTC
yes.
Windchill?
Right. So that is one of the crucial method in which you can create as well as edit your engineering bill of materials. So yes, there is a process through which you will be able to import your product structures in Excel. We have to check with a particular format through which that has to be done. But I believe if that format is compatible with Windchill, it is a straightforward process. Yeah, so it can be done.
All right. I see one more question here.
Right.
How the changes in the CAD structure is auto updated into the engineering BOM?
Yeah, so there are two options for this. You can go for auto associate option, or you can go for manual edit association. Okay, in the Windchill. So for driving the changes through CAD, what you have to do is you have to register the Windchill server in your respective CAD software. Okay, so if you have Creo, so through the file menu, you can register your Windchill server and you will be able to track your changes from your CAD session itself. Because Creo has got a natural connection with Windchill. There is an inbuilt browser that is available within Creo. So your workspace is visible to you right within the CAD session itself. So once you register your Windchill server with your Creo session, you'll be able to do changes. You'll be able to do check-in, check-out, and you'll be able to revise the designs, and you'll be able to track the changes in your eBOM.
Thanks. There are a few more questions, Supriya. You can take it from Q&A. Or I can read it for you. How to add text notes, example, assembly instruction while creating MBOMs.
Right. So for MBOMs, there is an extra module called Manufacturing Process Management. It's called MPM Link. Okay, and the corresponding functionality is available in eBOM also. Okay, so that is called as reference designator. So you just have to activate that MPM Link module, and then you can add these text notes via the reference designator functionality that is available.
All right, good, thank you. One more question here. I can see that what's the importance of setting location in creating the WT part or CAD document?
Yeah, so location is basically in context of there are two things in this. When a CAD session is linked with Windchill, there is a client side workspace and there is a server side workspace. Okay, so the location helps you to determine where you are storing this information to, on the client side or on the server side, right? So if you say the location is on the server side, then it will be automatically available and accessible in the common space, which is the server side workspace. But if you want to make it accessible on the client side, so that if you want to enhance the performance of retrieval of the CAD file, then it will be stored on local cache, and then it can be for faster performance of data retrieval. You have to understand where this location is. So that's the idea.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions? I see one more question from audience. How can we compare the two different versions of an eBOM?
Yeah, so there is a compare tool available. So if I can go back to my screen. So if you go to the structure tab here, so here there is a compare option here. So you can compare, you can compare part to WT part. You can compare, CAD part to WT part, and so on. So compare to part structure, compare to CAD structure. These are the two options which are available. So you can utilize these two options within the tools group of the product structure browser.
I see one more question here. Do we need any specific viewer to see the visualization, or is it a part of Windchill inbuilt?
Yeah, it is part of Windchill inbuilt. Okay, so it's called Creo View. Okay, there is a lightweight version of Creo View that is available with Creo Parametric as well. That is called Creo View Express. And but this Creo View is available out of the box with Windchill installation. Okay, and there are many things that you can do with Creo View at an advanced level. So you have to purchase that as an extra module, and then you have to download it through your PTC software downloads page in the form of Creo View for Windchill client.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is available automatically on installation. You don't need to have any separate installation media.
Does this viewer show only the Creo files, or it can show the files like SolidWorks, NX, or CATIA as well?
Very good question. No, it is CAD agnostic. It is platform independent. So it is just like any viewer that is CAD neutral. So it will visualize your Creo data, your SolidWorks data, any engineering data, and it is not restricted only to 3D. Even your 2D DRW, DWG, DXF, even that can be visualized in this platform. PDFs and so on.
I have a question process on this then. So does it does this mean that companies doesn't need to buy additional native CAD software licenses, and they are able to see the CAD data, which is designed by design engineers?
Absolutely, that is correct. So basically, if somebody who is a downstream consumer of this data, and he just needs to have some sort of a stake in the process, but does not need a full-blown license, then this PLM software through the visualization is very, very beneficial to him. So he will have a say in the product development process, and he will be able to contribute substantially if he has to suggest any change without having access to a full-blown license. So that is exactly the purpose of PLM, in terms that it offers contextual usage to product definition guys who are heavy users, but it also percolates downstream to lightweight users of application who are consumers of heavy CAD data, right? So those guys in the service, in the quality, in the manufacturing, in the procurement, they can utilize this lightweight information, and so that there is enterprise-wide information exchange.
Okay, thank you. There is one very interesting question again from audience. How to add assembly-related consumables in BOM? Example, welding, rod quantities.
Right. So that can be done from the CAD software. So in Creo Parametric specifically, there is a part type which is called as a bulk item. So bulk item is nothing but a component that does not have a geometrical significance, but has got significance from the bill of material. So those items like glue, tape, and so on, okay, which are a critical component of the as designed BOM, but cannot be created from geometrical perspective. They can be modeled as bulk items, and once they are there in the CAD software, they can be converted to WT part process to normal product structure or auto associate options and so on and so forth. So once they are modeled as bulk items, the system automatically identifies it as something which is like a consumable.
Right. So these consumables are part of engineering BOM, or are they part of manufacturing BOM?
It is up to you. It is up to the user to include it in the EBOM, or it can be transformed in the relevant MBOM or even SBOM. So for that, you require some certain advanced modules of Windchill, like BOM transformation, and platform structure management.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Any more questions from audience? How do you manage buy part and make parts in the engineering BOM?
Right. So custom parts, they can be created, but the administrator has to give the privilege via certain licensing options to the particular user. So there is a certain, administrative thing that you can define, and then you'll be able to create your custom parts. And and automatically, through certain customization as well, you'll be able to associate documents on the fly when the new part is created. Even that is possible, but there has to be certain customization behind this effort.
But yeah, and the question was how do you manage make or buy? No, I think should be with the attribute on the part.
Yeah. Right. So when we go for insert new option here, and when you go for say part, so here you have the option of source, whether whether it is make or a buy, and so on. Right.
Nice. That's pretty good set of questions from the audience. No? Thank you for your good participation, guys.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and this is exactly what we want from the audience who is using PLM. I think 90% of the audience has exposure to a PLM system. So that sounds good.
Any more questions? So thank you, Rasesh, for your informative session. Before concluding, please book your calendar for next webinar scheduled on 10th February. Topic will be consolidating multi-CAD data using PTC Creo. Please do follow our LinkedIn corporate page for next webinar updates. I hope your all question has been answered and you love the insightful technical demonstration of BOM management. Do let us know if need to speak with an expert about your engineering requirement. You can reach out to us on Supriya Deshpande @stevegraph.com for further queries or any assistance required from our end.
Thank you so much, Supriya. Thank you so much, for your support, and thank you for our knowledgeable audience for giving the time and participating proactively in this webinar. Thank you so much.
Hello, Rasesh. Sorry to interrupt in between. I think there is one question from Prayesh Kandarkar. I would like to read that. Are you okay? Is there a provision of marking a parts as a hazardous part or emission hazardous parts? Is that a question?
Yeah, so that you can even add it as an attribute. You can add it as an attribute or a parameter inside your CAD geometry, inside your CAD model. And those parameters and attributes can be mapped to WT parts in Windchill. And that is how you will get the information in your PLM system, that it is an hazardous part or a non-hazardous part.
Okay.
Yeah, so it can be CAD driven. Yep.
Okay. Thanks, Rasesh.
Yep. All right. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact Supriya. She can relay the questions to me.
Thank you, Rasesh. Thank you, Supriya. It was a wonderful webinar. And to our audience, SteveGraph is well known into the PLM space. We have a strong experience into the PLM industry since last 12 years. We have been serving our customers with PTC technology, Dassault technology, Aras technology. So we have vast experience across the PLM and work for multinational customers globally as well as in India, starting from setting up the PLM system to the full-fledged PLM system. So any kind of detailed PLM ROI study or business consulting and PLM value consulting, we do for our customers. Please feel free to reach out to our team to convert your ideas, to convert your vision into the success with the help of the PLM technology. So thank you so much for your time today, for participating in the webinar on PTC. Thank you.
Thank you, Himanshu. Thank you, Supriya. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Thank you, Suraj.
everyone. Yeah.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.